morning children. Let us continue with the lesson now. Already you have learnt what is matter. Matter is nothing but which has volume and occupies space, isn't it? Which has got weight and occupies space. So matter has got different states, isn't it? What are they? Solid, liquid and gas. So already you have learnt about solid, liquid and gas, isn't it? Now let us see about states of matter are interchangeable. So you can interchange these states of matter. Solid can be converted to liquid, liquid can be converted to gas, and gas can be converted again back to solid. So this is called as interchangeable. Now let us see. Let us perform an activity to understand how one state of matter changes to another. Take some ice cubes and keep them in a beaker for some time. So what happens here? You are going to change one state of matter into another. For that there is an example here. What's the example? Take some ice cubes and keep them in a beaker for some time. Can you see this? A beaker is here. You can see the ice cubes here. Okay? They melt to form water. So when you keep like that for some time, what happens? This ice will start melting and it becomes into water. See here? It is turning into water. They melt to form water. Heat this water and it changes into water vapor or steam. So what are you going to do? You are taking ice cubes into this beaker, normal beaker, glass beaker. Now what you are going to put? You are going to put ice cubes into this and you are leaving it aside. When you leave it for some time, what happens? This ice, which is in the solid form, will start melting and becomes water. Water is in the liquid form. So solid is converted into liquid. So it has become water now. Afterwards, what are you going to do? You are heating it. You are heating the beaker. When you heat the beaker, what is there present now? There is presence of water. Ice is melted and it is formed to water. So solid has become to liquid. Now you are heating this beaker. When you heat the beaker, what is going to happen? Water starts boiling. Water which is present, it starts boiling. And when it boils, what comes out? The water vapor in the form of steam, it comes out, right? So what state of matter is steam? Steam is in the gaseous state, right? So solid, liquid and gas. Again, if you leave that water vapor or steam to cool, what will happen? When it cools, again it turns to water. Again if you freeze it, what happens? It turns to solid. You understood? So solid, ice becomes water, liquid. Liquid when heated turns to gas, that is in the form of steam or water vapor. Water vapor is cooled. What happens? The gas state will become into liquid. Steam will turn into water, which is in the form of liquid. Again that liquid, if you freeze, what happens? It becomes into ice, again in the solid form. So you can see that there is a change. Okay. So heat this water and it changes into water vapor or steam. Now take a plate and keep it over the vapor coming out of the beaker. See, the vapor is coming out now, steam is coming out now. You are going to keep a lid over that muchla. Okay. So you are going to keep a lid upon that. See, take a plate. Plate is like a lid and keep it over the vapor coming out of the beaker. You can see the vapor condenses to form drops of water. So here first it will be in the form of what? Droplets. Means not droplets exactly. It will be into small fine drops. Fine drops. Later on if you go on cooling, what happens? It becomes into droplets. Understood? So you can see the vapor condenses to form drops of water. Keep this water in a freezer for some time. You can see that this water changes into ice. So water, first steam, gaseous form, settles on the plate and then condenses or cools. Again it becomes liquid. That liquid you are going to collect and that you are going to keep in a fridge, in the freezer. Again what happens? The liquid water is going to turn into ice, which is in the solid form. So what happens? Can you see that there is an interchange? Solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to liquid, again liquid to solid. So there is a interchange of states of matter. Now the activity shows that the three states of matter, solid, liquid, gas, can be converted from one form to another by heating or cooling. Isn't it? By heating also it changes. By cooling also the states of matter is going to change. This is called interconversion of matter. So there is a conversion from one state to the other state. That is called as conversion. So it is called as interconversion of matter. While conversion of one state of matter into another, the following processes take place. When you are going to convert it from one state of matter to the other state, what happens? We will see. First one, when ice is kept in a beaker for some time, it melts into water. Solid is turning to liquid. The change of solid into liquid on heating is called melting. When you heat, what happens? It is melting. The ice becomes into water now, so ice is going to melt. Second, when melted water is heated, it changes into vapor. This change of liquid into vapor on heating is called evaporation. So what is happening? Melted water from ice it has become to water, isn't it? That is heated, it changes into vapor. So this change of liquid into vapor on heating is called evaporation. So it is evaporating. You can see here it is evaporating, isn't it? But here what you are going to do, you are going to hold a plate. You are going to close it. Then it will not escape again. It will start settling on the plate. Now, when vapor is cooled, it changes into water. Again if you cool that vapor, what happens? It changes into water. This change of vapor into liquid is called condensation. So again what happened? Vapor which was in the steam form or gaseous form is again cooled. It changes into liquid, and this form of changing the vapor into liquid is called condensation. When water is kept in a freezer, it changes into ice which is in the solid form. This change of liquid into solid on cooling is called freezing. So solid is ice. Ice is changed into water. Water. Then it is what? It is cooling. So there is formation of condensation, means the change of vapor into liquid is condensation. The change of liquid into solid is called freezing. Understood? So like that, when you cool, when you condense, when you heat, what happens? There is a change of state of matter. Now coming to the next one, you see, the substance solid which is dissolved, that is sugar, is called a solute. Now, see the substance solid. Now sugar, if you take sugar, how it is? It is hard to touch, that means it is in the solid form, right? So, you are going to put that sugar into water. Clear? Sugar is in the solid form, water is in the liquid form. Let us see what happens here. The liquid water in which the solute is dissolved is called the solvent. So children, you are taking water, and in water what you are going to put? You are going to put sugar. Okay? Sugar is in solid form, water is in the liquid form. You are going to put sugar into this water. What happens? Sugar is solute. And water is what? It is a solvent. So what happens? Sugar is dissolving in water if you stir it. Then we call it as a sugar solution. It is called as sugar solution. So what happened? You are taking sugar, you are put it into, sugar is solute, you are put it into water, water is the solvent. Then you have stirred it. When you have stirred, what happens? The sugar has dissolved in this water. Now it is going to form a homogeneous mixture. Means that is, it is formed sweet water. Now it is called as sugar solution. We call it as a solution. That is what we said here. You see, solute plus solvent is solution. Solute is sugar, solvent is water. Now it is a sugar solution. We call it as sugar solution because we have added sugar. Sugar plus water is sugar solution. Substances like sugar and salt dissolve in water, they are called soluble substances. See, because you are not able to see sugar at all. No, so it is already got dissolved. No, that is why you call it as the soluble substances. Now, what am I going to do is, I am going to take one more glass. I am going to take one more glass, and again I am going to pour water into this. See, I am going to pour water into this. Okay. Now what I am going to do, I am taking little chalk powder actually, but here I am taking chalk pieces here. Okay. Now what am I going to do? I am going to mix it. I am going to mix it. What is happening? You see, this will stand like that only, as in the form of powder it will be settling down at the bottom. And what happened to the color of the water, you see? Color of water is going to change, isn't it? It is becoming white in color. So what happens? It will start settling at the bottom. This will not, if I take powder also it is the same, it will be settling at the bottom. It will not get mixed up with water. So when it doesn't mix up with water, you call them as insoluble substances. You can take mud, you can take sand, you can take pebbles, that is stones, anything. And if you go on studying it for a long time also, what happens? It will not get mixed up. It will be settling at the bottom. So then you call this type of materials as insoluble material. So I have taken chalk here. You can see it is an insoluble material. It is not getting mixed with water. But in sugar water plant, in sugar solution water plant, it is getting mixed with water, isn't it? So you can see this is sugar solution and this is chalk solution. You can see here. But here it is not dissolved. Here it is dissolved. So this is soluble. This is insoluble. Got it? Now you can see that is what said here. Now repeat the same experiment with chalk powder. What do you observe? Chalk powder settles down at the bottom of the glass. It does not dissolve in water. So substances which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. For example, chalk, sand, wood, stone, etc. Sugar is solid while water is liquid. We know that in liquids there is space between the molecules. So when we dissolve sugar in water, the sugar molecules occupy or take up the available space between the water molecules. Understood? That is already explained in the previous class. How the molecules are arranged in sugar, solid, liquid and gas. In liquid what happens? There is some space between the molecules. So there is intermolecular space wherein what happens? The sugar molecules go and deposit. That is why what happens? The water level also will not increase because it is occupying the space which is present in the molecules of that is in between the intermolecular space of water. Sugar is going to occupy those space. Understood? That's the meaning here. We know that in liquids there is space between the molecules, that is intermolecular space. So when we dissolve sugar in water, the sugar molecules occupy or take up the available space present between the water molecules. So check the volume of water in glass after sugar has dissolved. So when you add sugar to this, what is happening to the volume of water? Volume of water remains the same. Why? Because the molecules of sugar has occupied the space of the molecules of water. Okay. So what do you find? We find that the volume of water in the glass remains the same even after adding sugar. Sugar does not need extra space as it only occupies the spaces available between water molecules. So the volume remains the same. There is no change in it. So let me stop it here, children. We continue in the next class. Thank you.